Okay, in this lesson we are going to discuss slope-intercept form of a line, and we're going to begin by reviewing slope. Slope is a major feature of slope-intercept form, so it's good that we are able to review and have a solid understanding of our slope formula. So let's start with finding the value of x if the points x, 2, and 3, 5 lie on the line whose slope is negative 3/4. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write my ordered pairs vertically so that my x's line up and my y's line up. And then I'm going to plug these values into my slope formula. So slope is equal to, I'll start with 5 minus 2, which means I'm going to start with 3 minus x in the denominator. Now I have two unknowns. I have slope and I have x. Well, the slope isn't really unknown because it was given in the problem. It's negative 3/4. So I'm going to plug that value in, and I have negative 3/4 is equal to, well, 5 minus 2 is 3 over 3 minus x. And now I'm going to cross multiply. Negative 3 times all of 3 minus x, negative 3 times all of 3 minus x is equal to 4 times 3. I'm going to distribute. Negative 9 plus 3x is equal to 12. I'll add 9 to both sides, and I get 3x equals 21. And I get x equals 7. X equals 7. That's the value of x that needs to be in that ordered pair so that the line has a slope of negative 3/4. Okay, here's one for you to try. Go ahead and try and set it up. If you have trouble, go ahead and press play and you'll see how I set it up, but give yourself a chance to give it a try and see what happens. Okay, the first thing I would do, obviously, is line up my ordered pairs vertically. And then I would say the slope, which is 1, is equal to 6 minus 2 over 4 minus x. Now, I cross multiplied, so I'm going to make this 1 a fraction, and I'm going to cross multiply. 1 times 4 minus x is just 4 minus x, and 1 times 6 minus 2, well, that's just 4. 6 minus 2 is 4. 1 times 4 is 4. I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides. I get negative x equals 0. Therefore, positive x is also equal to 0, and I get x equals 0. What does that mean? It means that my point x2 really had to be 0, 2, so that I had a slope of 1. Okay, go ahead and try the next one. I'm going to continue, so make sure that you've pressed play, or maybe you're back right now because you already pressed pause and tried it. The slope is undefined. Ooh, an undefined slope means that I have a 0 in the denominator. It means I have a 0 in the denominator. So I'm going to leave the numerator blank for right now, and I'm going to set up the other side of my fraction. 5 minus 7 over x minus 3. How would I get a 0 in the denominator? What does x have to be so that I get a 0 in the denominator? Well, here x would have to equal 3. I want x minus 3 to equal 0. Remember, the number doesn't matter in the numerator. When you divide by 0, you're going to have an undefined value. So x would have to equal 3, which makes sense. Our x values are the same. An undefined slope means all x values are the same in the ordered pairs. that are on that line in all ordered pairs. And what happens if you have a zero slope? All the y values are the same. Okay, let's go to the next example. Find the value of y now if the slope is negative 9/5. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to write my ordered pairs in order, negative 2, 5, and 3y. And my slope, negative 9/5, is equal to y minus 5 over 3 minus negative 2. So we'll have negative 9 times 5, negative 9 times 5, because 3 plus 2 is 5. And then we'll have 5 times all of y minus 5. That's going to give us negative 45 equals 5y minus 25. Add 25 to both sides, and we get negative 20 equals 5y. Y equals negative 4. So that's the value of y that would give us a slope of negative 9/5. Okay, here's a few more for you to try. I'm going to let you try them now, and then I'm going to come back and literally just give you answers. So go ahead and try those, and I'm going to give you answers. Okay, hopefully you've given them a shot, because literally I am giving you answers. I got y equals 4. You should have work to show that supports how you got y equals 4. I've got y equals 9. You should have work to show. And I got y equals, you know what? I'm not going to tell you what y equals, because I want to show you one more way. Look at this. X, y, 2y, 6, 7. Add 4. What would I have to do? I would have to add 3. That's one way to do that. Okay. Look at this one though. This is the one I really want to show you. 7y, 2, 9. The slope is 0. When the slope is 0, I have a horizontal line, meaning all the y's are the same. All the y's are the same, so y equals 9. Okay, this next one, we have y minus 5 over 4 minus negative 2 is equal to 5/3. I've got 5 times 6 equals 3 times y minus 5. 3y equals 45. I believe y equals 15, but you'll tell me if it doesn't. 15 minus 5 is 10. 4 minus negative 2 is 6. 10 over 6. It is indeed y equals 15. So hopefully that was a nice little review. Now let's get to it with the slope and y-intercept of each equation, and then we're going to graph it. Our first step is always to solve for y. We want to solve for y. Why do we want to solve for y? Because y equals the slope times your independent variable plus your y-intercept. Your slope is the value of m. It's the coefficient of x. It is not x. It is just the coefficient in front of x. And your y-intercept is your b value. So your m stands for your slope. M equals your slope, and B (0b) is your y-intercept. So that's why they call this slope-intercept form, because looking at the equation, you can see the slope, you can see the y-intercept quickly by just a glance. So it's important for us to solve for y, so that we have 1y equals, and then whatever follows is going to be our slope and y-intercept. So in this first equation, I'm going to have to subtract 2/5 x from both sides, and then I'm going to write with the variable term first, so negative 2/5 x plus 7. So the slope, which is m, is equal to negative 2/5 just the constant. It is just the constant. That coefficient of x, it is not the variable. And our y-intercept is an ordered pair. It's going to be 0, 7. So we're going to go to 0, 7 first. We solve for y, identify m, identify b, and then our second step is to plot the y-intercept, and then the third step, from the y-intercept, use your slope to plot additional points. And we will plot as many points as we possibly can on the grid that we're given. So 0, 7 is our y-intercept. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. From that y-intercept, we're going to use our slope. Our slope is down 2, because of the negative, right 5. So down 2, right 5. Down 2, right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right there. Down 2, right 5. Or we can go opposite and we can go up 2. So from our y-intercept, we can go up 2 and then left 5. Or up 2 and then left 5. But if you go up 2, you have to go left because you have to take care of that negative. And then with a straight edge, you draw your straight line, and there's our graph. Okay, let's try that again. We're going to solve this equation, 3y minus 5x equals negative 12. We're going to solve it for y. So 3y equals 5x minus 12. I just added 5x to both sides. And then I'm going to divide each term by 3. So we get y equals 5/3 x minus 4. Our slope is 5/3, and our y-intercept is 0, -4. So we're going to plot -4 on the y-axis, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then from that y-intercept, we're going to go up 5 and right 3. Up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then right 3. 1, 2, 3. Up 5 goes just off the chart, and then right 3 would be right there. And then down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But then we'd have to go left 3. That would be a double negative. Down 5, left 3. And that's the same thing as positive 5/3. Use a straight edge to connect all your points, and there's a beautiful graph. You do need to fill in as many points as I am doing. You need to do that when you're doing your homework. Okay, x minus 2y equals 8. I'm going to solve for y, so I'm going to subtract x from both sides. That's going to give me -2y equals -x plus 8. Then I'm going to divide each term by -2, giving us y equals positive 1/2 x minus 4. So our slope is positive 1/2, and our intercept, our y-intercept, is going to be 0, -4. So we're going to go down to -4 on the y-axis. And then from that point, we're going to use our slope. Up 1, right 2, up 1, right 2, up 1, right 2, up 1, right 2, up 1, right 2. But there's many more points from the y-intercept going down 1, left 2. Down is a negative, left is a negative. Double negative is a positive. Down 1, left 2, down 1, left 2, down 1, left 2. And then we use our straight edge to connect the dots. And there's our line. Now, how do we write an equation given our slope and our intercept? Well, we use y equals mx plus b. So we've got the slope is 5, y equals mx plus b. So our slope is 5, that's 5 for m, and our y-intercept 0, 7/2. That gives us a b value of 7/2. So y equals 5x plus 7/2. And it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's try this next one. Y equals -1x minus 3, because b is equal to -3. And the only reason b is equal to -3 is because x is 0. Okay, so y equals -x minus 3. You would take away that 1, you don't need it. And you go ahead and try the next one. Okay, welcome back. Y equals 4/9 x. M is equal to 4/9. And then b is going to equal 0. So our answer is just y equals 4/9 x. And then we've got y equals, put a 0 in for m. So 0 times x plus your y-intercept of 3.5, and we get y equals 3.5. And how do we do this from a graph? Write the slope-intercept form of the equation of the line. So how will we do this from a graph? Well, our first step is find our slope. Our second step will be identify the y-intercept. So our slope is m. Our y-intercept we'll call b, and then sub in those values into y equals m x plus b. So let's find our slope. They gave us 2 points right here. Since they gave us a graph, I kind of like to use that graph. They gave us a -2y value going up to a +4y value. So from -2 to +4, that's going up by 6. And then we're at x equals -6, going to the right at x equals +6, that would be right 12. So our slope, remember, is change in y over change in x. So that's going to be 6/12. So your change in y over your change in x, which is 1/2. So far I have y equals 1/2x. Now we need to look at that y-intercept. The y-intercept is 0, 1. So we'll add 1, because that's your b value. So our answer is y equals 1/2 x plus 1. Okay, you try the next one. And when you come back, I'm going to just give you an answer. I got y equals -2/3 x. Be very careful that your x is in the middle and not in the denominator with 3. Okay, here are 2 problems for you to try. Again, press pause and then come back and we'll see if you can put it together. We've done this problem before, but now you can identify it and call it slope-intercept form. Okay, welcome back. If you never pressed pause, make sure you press pause and give these two problems a try. A plumber charges $75 for a service fee and then $24 per hour to come fix your overflowing toilet. So y equals 24x plus 75. But you have to define your x and your y because it's a word problem. So x stands for the number of hours fixing the toilet, and y stands for your total cost or charge in dollars. Okay, the next one, a copying service charges $2 for the setup fee and then 25 cents per copy. Write an equation in slope-intercept form relating these two quantities. So we're going to have y equals 25x plus 2. I'm sorry, 0.25x. And oh boy, I like to put a 0 in front of that. 0.25x plus 2. If it's all going to be in dollars, we can't mix dollars and cents without decimals. So 0.25 stands for your 25 cents, and then 2 stands for your $2. And x represents the number of copies because it's 25 cents per copy. So x is going to be the number of copies, and y is going to be, again, your total cost in, not cents, but dollars. And that concludes this video for slope-intercept form.